good evening, good morning, good night, you lovelies. It is the one, the only Cappy D Bar, and we're here to discuss some wrestling. Hope all of you are having a great one. However you catch this, whenever you catch this. Understandably, a little delayed. I am a little delayed. I apologize for that. You know, there's a lot happening in the world right now. You know, Iceman just released. I have to drop the video on that. I'm kind of obligated, you know, via my contract. You know, I don't really have a choice. So, you know, I've been kind of trying to make time for that. I don't even know what that is. It's a whole thing that's going on with Iceman. This Monday Night Raw for May 18th, 2026. It was something that I didn't think I would be just so. I don't know if forgetful is the word. I just something about this night. You just makes you not want to care. I just don't care. Like, even with how this night ends, man, it leaves you in just a state of like, okay, so what's the point of anything, right? Like, what is the point of anything this company gives you? Because it doesn't really mean anything. Nothing this company gives you actually means anything, right? It's all just rubber filler, like even some of these stories, they're nothing. They're nothing, and I don't know. There's no other real way to get into it. It is a delayed reaction, because I just, for lack of a better word, I couldn't find the energy to talk about it. It is that lackluster. Ladies and gentlemen. But we are going to be getting into directly our Raw 2026. We start off with some Bloodline lore, which isn't that fun. It's not that fun. We get the Yeet Master 5000 and Jimmy Uso out here begging and pleading for Jacob to acknowledge Roman. Man, we are really dragging this motherfucker out, aren't we? I didn't hate the Backlash match. I didn't hate it, but I mean, I think we all could agree that if Roman wants to be a part-timer so bad, then he should just give up the belt. Right? Like, he should be a temp champion if he really doesn't want to be here that much, right? And there's a stat like, oh, he's been there for 6 straight weeks, you know, the work, the effort, right? And I can't acknowledge that he's been present, you know, just like I can acknowledge that Logan Paul, as much as I, you know, not a big fan of his personal life, he has been present, you know, he has been at most of the tapings for this year. So, you know, kind of things I have to just simply acknowledge. But Roman Reigns, he wants to go down this path with Jacob, where I think they're both kind of putting over each other. But I'll be honest, man, like, Jacob doing what he could do in that reign with the potential that he has, you know, for the rest of his career in this industry, I'm not buying that Roman in this old withered age is like, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, like, Roman is moving, you know, but it's like it's almost like he's commanding the Usos, which is crazy for Jimmy and Jay's character arcs, right? He's commanding them to get the job done or else. And we've already seen that Jacob can hold his own. He doesn't really fear anyone in the bloodline. So what's the or else? I mean, I know some people think he's not ready, but if we're gonna start taking these steps, you might as well call up Zilla at this fucking point. You know what I mean? Like, I would like for them to actually start pulling some of these triggers and making some of these moves, because this segment simply ends, right, in the Usos getting attacked, Roman, you know, coming down, they jump Jacob. They jump him. I'm like, the fuck is this, fucking Baddies USA? Like, what am I watching? They quite literally jump Jacob, and I guess the idea is because he's so big, he's so massive, right? Takes 3 super kicks to take him down, right? But I would just love to just crack open some of these producers' brains for a second, man. Why is it that Jacob, he only acts, right, out of like complete and utter desperation? He never like preemptively strikes. You know, I mean, like, he striked Roman, but I mean, Roman was clearly trying to egg him on. He was clearly poking the bear. Even the story of, like, you're a grown-ass man, you need to submit to me. That's kind of anything that I feel like, you know, I feel like that's, like, I feel like any normal person would kind of react that way, like Jacob is reacting. I cannot wrap my head around this fucking story, and I can't wrap my head around them jumping him, because now definitively Jacob looks like the face, no? No, is that the story we're telling of Jacob, the guy who fucking got out of prison? This is literally like a fucking Cinderella story for Jacob. He got out of prison. He has like 8 kids. He got all these mouths to feed, all these people that rely on him as the superstar who made it to the big team, as a superstar who made it to the big leagues, right? And for some reason, the niggas who have been in the industry, right, who have dodged and fucking outmaneuvered the streets a decade and a half ago, for some reason they're jumping him. And I know I'm very delayed. I'm very late to the punch, so excuse me as I get my half cup full. But none of this story clicks, ladies and gentlemen. It's all slop. It's all just sloshy slop. And And I think that half of this goes into why it's just so unbelievable for us to actually like get anything. They're building towards Saturday night's main event, right? And then I know for a fact this is probably going to push on to the next pay-per-view. Because I don't know if they're going to have Jacob go over. In my book, Jacob goes over as soon as we can, so we can start that Oba and Jacob program. Like that's what I'm doing in my book, but I don't know, man. I don't fucking understand what's going on. The Usos are upset, right? The UF Usos, right? They're upset because Jacob doesn't want to, be a part of the family or whatever. But Jacob was kind of already a part of the family solo. No. Am I slow? Am I missing something, ladies and gentlemen? Whatever. They quite literally try to blackmail this nigga with hypothetically going back to prison if he doesn't listen to Jacob. I do want to note that Jey Uso brought a chair, which I think is pretty smart. That was pretty intelligent from them to bring a chair. But yeah, they ended up jumping this nigga Jacob. Doesn't go well. I don't know what their fucking issue is, man. They should have pulled this trigger such a long time ago. Such a long fucking time ago with Jacob. Man, backlash. We had backlash. Backlash happened. You know what I mean? Just fuck, man, whatever. But yes, this leads to tribal combat. That is what they announced, and I'll be honest, I think we would be so better off if we were getting maybe good, tangible Jacob programs with anyone else but Roman. I'm serious. If this was with Jay, if this was with fucking Hakuloa, if they fucking found a way to bring Tama Tunga back, if they found a way to bring them niggas back, maybe he cuts a promo on them, I don't know. Because Jacob going out there and saying, I got kids to feed, I'm trying to not go to prison, and then you niggas jump him, but I'm supposed to boo him come the pay-per-view. Nothing makes sense. None of this shit makes any sense. Let's move on to our first match of the night. Finn Balor and JD McDonough. You heard me correctly. The exact same match that happened last week. I didn't put a video out, but it was in my notes. These niggas are out their fucking minds. Out their fucking minds. I don't think I can come up with a less creative idea by just doing the exact same match we did last week. And to think that the minds that go into the show have such genius epiphanies, like to gut the mid-card, to gut the tag team division, because there is no Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor. There is no Intercontinental Champion for the women's division in Roxanne Perez or Raquel Rodriguez. The Judgment Day is just a fucking blockade, refusing to move, alright? And it is completely cutting off any creativity to this fucking community. There is nothing, there is not a drop of fucking creativity that goes into these Judgment Day segments. We are doing a rehash of the same shit we did last week. The only difference is that Finn goes over. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-fucking-doo. What's Finn Balor's answer for JD McDonough, the likes of Roxanne Perez, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Dominic Mysterio? That's 5 people he has to get around with no tag team because there is no mid-card division. No jobbers, no jabronis you can bring up to the fucking lower mid-card so this nigga Finn Balor has a semi-fighting chance. Every single match he has against one of these Judgment Day niggas, it's a 1v5, and the referees don't care. Hey, Adam Pearce, Nick Aldis, they can give less of a fuck about it. Who cares about it? Hey, Finn, go out there, do the demon gimmick, try your best, my guy. That's his advice for these Judgment Day matches, and it's bad. It's fucking bad. We're not building towards Raquel versus Liv for that World Heavyweight Championship belt. What is Liv Morgan even doing with that belt? What is Finn doing with his belt? This shit sucks. It's all bad. It's all fucking bad, man. Dom at this point needs to be a fucking pillar of AAA. If that means he has to kayfabe an injury to get out of America, I don't care. I really don't, right? Maybe you could, one of my charges expired. I don't know. Make up some stupid story so we could stay his ass in AAA, and maybe we could start to see his actual ring work, and maybe we could see some actual title defenses. I'm tired of looking at that belt, bro. And then I got niggas like Grande Americano on this card in a couple of fucking minutes, who honestly, in my humble opinion, if you ask Mexico, should 100% be the AAA champion. He's the most over star right there. He's the most over star over there. I know that sounds a little, redundant, but he is the most cheered, the most beloved person in the city of Mexico. But for some odd, insane reason, we're not giving him that push. You know, again, even like a Roxanne Perez IC United States title, Moving after this, my argument still stands because we get Sol Ruca and Becky arguing over this IC women's title. Sol Ruca comes out, fine segment. She says that, she's gonna snatch her soul. She deserves this chance to fully bask in this light. It's not anybody else's moment. It's not Becky's moment. Nobody thinks about Becky, etc., etc. Becky does the, ESPN said it, Sports Illustrated said it, etc., etc. Listen, there's nothing really to write home about here. The issue and the main part that this segment addresses is for their Saturday night main event match, this title won't be on the line. And I'm going to lay this out very clearly for all of you. B-Fab, Purgatory. Ivy Neal, Purgatory. Jordan Grace, Purgatory. Yeah? Shall I continue? Michin, Purgatory. Roxanne Perez. Raquel Rodriguez. Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss. Do these names ring any bells? Maybe they're in a tag division that maybe shouldn't be there and should just be mainly focusing on some mid-card belts to build up these fucking brands. Because Sol Ruca, not even getting a sniff at a world title, bro. Oh God. It's like, people need to face adversity. People need to face adversity. The adversity is stopping momentum. This adversity shit is stopping all momentum. Sol Ruca has the capabilities to be a solid call-up, direct to champion kind of competitor. Like simple call-up to champion. She has the qualities. She's not terrible on the mic, a little green, but just came from NXT. Like, come the fuck on, like, right? Look, what kind of criticism is that? I can't wrap my head around Becky just having this title for fucking ever, and then the US title is nothing over there on the blue brand, and then we have situations like Raquel Rodriguez, fucking Liv Morgan, Ivy Neal, Jordan Grace, fucking I mean the list goes on and on and on of people who genuinely should be having some kind of something for this IC belt, but they get nada. They get fucking nada. It's just all regurgitated slop. Regurgitated fucking slop. And I think if they want some actual change, they have to do something with these mid-card belts, bro. They have to, because this shit is horrendous to look at. It's horrendous to look at, and I can't keep subjecting myself to it. And I don't think any of you should. I don't think this energy should be suspended. Like, I don't think this energy should be expended on people who can't rub two fucking neurons together. All right, on to some lighter, more kind-hearted, segments. I simply wrote down in my notes, Olay, the six-man tag match between the Panera Bread Frappuccino Lattes. Hey, game is game. Game is game, ladies and gentlemen. I have to call it how I see it. I was very, very impressed with this. I was very impressed. I had a lot of fun. All right, it gave CMML, it gave AAA, it gave old school TNA, like that you would catch, on Spike TV at 9 p.m. on a Monday. I was very pleased with this match. I think Chad Gable has been one of the best workers pound for pound in that locker room for a very long time. So I think him finally getting just good minutes on this card, I can't be pissy about that. I just simply can't. Ludwig Kaiser is one of the hottest things in Mexico right now. Easily one of the most valued pieces of this mid card for me personally. So I mean, I can't imagine them firing him, despite some charges that came out at the time of this recording. Again, little delayed, give me a break. All right. I will say that, interrupting somebody while they're tonguing down their girlfriend, it's not good manners. It's not good manners. Don't fucking do that. But shout out to Ludwig, free my boy, he'll be fine. I definitely know for a fact they will try to get that gimmick as much time as they can in Mexico. So don't be surprised if he's a AAA champion or just some secondary belt holder. There are a lot of other promotions in Mexico other than CMML. So I mean, you might just see him somewhere just on the indie circuit in Mexico. It might be dangerous, but I mean, he's Ludwig, right? Like, I'm pretty sure Abuelas in the heart of Mexico who have at least caught a single episode of AAA a day in their life or watched the local news probably know of a nigga or some little light-skinned boy or some little light-skinned Latino boy named Grande Americano. I really like this match though. This match is very good. We talk about Julius Creed, Brutus Creed. I mean, I think that Julius Creed is a very, very, very good worker. If I had the book, he'd be in Japan wrestling 24/7. That's how I feel about it. He is that good. He is that competent when he puts two matches, like when he puts two grapples together. I do want to touch briefly on Pete Dunne and I forgot the other lad, Tyler Bate. Yeah, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. They are the other two under the mask. But honestly, man, this is just whatever consortium of words I put together with the latte at the end of it. And I hate to be that guy, and I really do. But there's 6 of them. They all kind of have the same gimmick. It's kind of confusing, but it's kind of not. There's like an original, but I'm not fucking calling this nigga Chad the original. I'm not fucking doing that. Shut up. Michael Cole says that, and I want to fucking reach through my screen and slap him upside his balding ass head. I'm not calling this nigga the OG Americano. Shut up. But again, very, very good match. Ludwig and them end up going over with a fucking headbutt, which is it was clean. It was clean as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, bro. Very, very cool match, and it was definitely washed that that mid card shit fucking brownie out of my mouth, because man, thinking about that mid card, man, it's horrible. It's fucking horrible, and I wish more people spoke on it. I wish more people talked about it. They fucking prolonged the Street Profits breakup. Montez Ford is he is a blueprint for an intercontinental champion, and I think people forget. Like, I'm real old school. Your intercontinental champion, that is your ambassador. That's the nigga you put on Jimmy Fallon. That's the nigga you tell to go to Seth Meyers. That's who you go in the fucking Dunkin' commercials with. That is your brand right there. The U.S. champions. While the niggas, Homeboy, Roman and Punk and Cody, those are the workers. Those are the guys putting over new talent, right? They're putting over niggas like Oba. They're putting over niggas like Javon. They're putting over niggas like Trey. That's just how the game used to work, way back when, right? But saying all this to say, there's so much potential in that locker room for just brand builders like Montez, like Melo, niggas like fucking Braun. Braun was already kind of an IC champion, right? But they kind of stripped him of that, and there's not really anywhere else for him to go. But Braun make a competent tag team champion if he could have a good tag team partner. Another conversation for another segment. But I did like this match. I did like this match a lot, and I definitely know that they weren't trying to promote this match as much as they have been, mainly because the Undertaker has just been kind of, he's gotten his hands in all of AAA. WWE has bought AAA, but Mark Calloway is AAA. So anything that comes out of his mind, I think Triple H is just a little slighted by. Same with Shawn Michaels. It is what it is. Ego's one hell of a drug, and Triple H is on it as much as he can be. Speaking of ego, we are going to be discussing all ego. Ethan Page. Ethan Page has gifted when he locks in, and I definitely expect a lot from Ethan Page. Again, future IC champion, no question about that. And I would like, to see the feuds that he can have in the future with somebody like Melo, with somebody like Javon. Again, individuals like there who eventually break off into that face tweener realm. Maybe like Austin Theory, because we're going to speak on him later in the night, but he definitely shows good capabilities when it comes to singles competitor, like singles competing, right? Just things I think about with Ethan Page. I immediately think after. I just hope they don't fuck up, because that's such a great tendency of fucking things up, So it definitely leaves a worrying taste in my mouth looking at Ethan Page's trajectory. Because this company, man, they just shit on trajectories, don't they? They find any way to ruin your momentum, ruin your hype by any means necessary. And I would like for Ethan Page to just get anything in this company worth deserving. But even in that, right? Like Ethan Page gets an easier push than Javon. Javon should have gotten a 1v1 for the IC title and won it weeks ago. Ethan Page is just gonna get a layup at Saturday Night Main Event, though, right? All right. Sure, that means nothing. I'm sure that's nothing. It's fine. It's fine. We're going to be talking about the biggest part of this night that I have kind of been avoiding talking about. Okay, if I can be transparent with all of you. When the Brock retirement happened, immediately, like, my sensors went off. I'm like, okay, great. I don't now have to attribute this product to the Janelle Grant case anymore. I can finally try my best to not associate this horrific, traumatic case that happened to multiple people who are willing to testify on wax about it, right? That case, it's not going to be, associated with this company anymore. I can fucking watch a Melo match and not think of how these niggas quite literally are just trying to. There's like a gif. There's like a meme I'm thinking about where somebody is walking away from people getting thrown out of a car. They are just putting their horse blinders on to everything happening in the world right now. And it's insane. Like this shit is a microcosm for how they treat politics. This shit is a microcosm for how they treat, just like internal affairs. This shit's a microcosm for how they treat everything down to finances. In this country, we are dealing with an unprecedented amount of spike in finances, right? And that is not being reflected with this company. They want to raise ticket prices, right? We are seeing creatives left and right getting replaced by AI. And what does this company do? They rely on AI. They rely on Grok. They rely on ChatGPT to give you stories like Brock the Piss Farmer returning after he left his boots and his gloves in the ring. I want to speak on this briefly. Why even fucking do that? Why even do that? And I do want to say very briefly, people like Dave Meltzer, people shit on Dave Meltzer, but he's been right about things since the 80s. So like, you got to give that nigga a little leeway. Honestly, you simply have to, right? He said this shit was a work from the start. And it's things like that. He said this shit was a work from the start, and a lot of people didn't believe him. And here Brock he is. And here Brock is. Live and well. As Michael Cole said, exaggeration of what he said. As Michael Cole said, rumor of his demise was extremely exaggerated or something like that, right? Even though he put his boots in the ring, he didn't have to do that, right? Like the idea of this being a crowning moment for Oba, the idea of Oba finally getting what the fuck he should be getting in this company after he was fucked out of that world title shot. After he was fucked out of that world title shot, something that would have catapulted this company to the top of this industry. A 2-3 month Oba and Cody feud done properly. Maybe you start pulling small strings of a desperate, of a by any means necessary Cody Rhodes, planting seeds for something a little darker down the line. No. Don't put the belt on Oba. Don't have Cody put him over. Don't start this amazing potential rivalry that, if booked properly, could span the next 5-6 years. Don't do any of that. No. Have Oba lose. Have him keep facing adversity. Bring him to the Night of the Immortals, the home of the gods, in WrestleMania. Have him go over on the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. Only for Brock to do something Owen Hart didn't get the chance to do. Misawa didn't get the chance to leave his boots in the ring. This fucking guy who's involved in a federal court case, he just gets to just disrespect the entire art form like that. Nobody blinks, nobody bats an eye, just business as usual. It's fucking disgusting. It's sick. I think you and I can think of at least 3 to 5 wrestlers who didn't get a chance to leave their stuff in the ring, to take their final bows, and finally kiss this game goodbye after everything they've given it. Brock gets to make a mockery of that though, and it's just business as usual to you niggas. I bet it is. It's sick, man. It's fucking sad. It really is. And I don't even have an excuse for what Oba's build is now. They had Oba walking out of there like a fucking sad puppy dog. What are we doing? Like what? It's like Oba, he walked in with the world on his shoulders organically, and they're trying to humble him. I cannot see any value in humbling a nigga like Oba creatively. How? Hey, maybe he's going back there and he's telling people and, producers who have been there, grandmothers and shit, shut the fuck up. Maybe you humble him then. And again, listen to that hypothetical, a made up hypothetical. Maybe then you humble him in terms of reality. Like you would talk to like your friend or your coworker. The big bad motherfucker who just put down Brock Lesnar needs to be humbled. Oh, and who else better to humble him than nigga who just retired? At the Night of the Immortals, by the way, there is no bigger show. They keep talking about SummerSlam and Tiffy, like she literally was like, oh man, it's so sad he retired, but we all want him on SummerSlam, right? We all want him at SummerSlam, but it's like, why the fuck would he be at SummerSlam if he already did WrestleMania? That's the biggest night. Bro, I'm gonna be so fucking honest. If I find out that TKO has changed, they've changed the percentage on their fucking on their check distribution based on just PLEs period. Hey, if it's one of the big four pillars, just expect a big pay cut. Just expect a big payday. When we all know WrestleMania is 100% times bigger than SummerSlam, 100%. So what's the point? None of this shit clicks, bro. None of it. And then after, we just get a Vision and Street Profits match. It's not even like, I don't know, chat. I don't know. And all credit to Montez, right? But this doesn't even give me anything, right? Because the match itself is actually Austin Theory and, Seth Rollins. But the real backdrop, the real interesting shit that we should all be talking about right now is Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, right? There's this idea that Angelo, he keeps coming out here to save Seth. For what or why, I don't know. I can't tell you. I couldn't give you like a real tangible reason as to why he keeps doing it, but he does. And I don't know. They haven't really given us a real concrete reason yet. They're probably going to next week because long-term storytelling. But I'll be honest, man. Braun Breaker going out here and embarrassing Montez Ford. When we all know that those two can keep up on the same pace with each other. A Montez and Braun feud would do this company well. A Montez and Austin Theory feud, if booked properly, right? Maybe for something that fucking matters, like a championship. I'm tired of everyone saying that championships are kind of just like, oh, don't be a belt mark, don't be this, don't be that. Okay, so if it's not going to be a blood feud and it's not going to be a title on the line, then these two niggas are just going to hate each other. Why? Just cause? Oh, cause of a story. Listen, it's not the 80s anymore, okay? We need shit to stick to these walls, all right? And if it's not gonna be, again, for something that matters, right? Maybe even like a tournament, right? King of the Ring, something that we actually give a fuck about. Montez in Theory could put on a good match. Angelo Dawkins also amazing, in-ring competitor. There's a lot of good things about these segments, right? But then you have the veil of Braun Breaker. You have the veil of Paul Heyman, right? And even with Paul Heyman, so now with Brock Lesnar back, are these guys just gonna get put in the cuck chair? Because when Paul Heyman was building towards that match with Oba, there were segments where it was just the Vision and they stunk. They fucking stunk. We don't have Bronson Reed, so when this becomes a 4-man, so when this becomes a 4-man group, these segments are going to blow ass. Hot ass. These segments aren't going to be good. They're not going to get better with Bronson Reed. All right, they're barely good with Paul. Barely. They're right above average, like slightly above average. And then maybe Logan Paul will get a little heat. That kind of pops me a little bit. I don't fucking like him, right? And I'll be honest. I definitely understand the idea of faction versus faction. I get it. I do. I really do. But there's no fucking way that they look at the Street Profits and go, let's not break them up. Let's not do something with them. Let's just have them be Seth's lackeys for a little bit. And then they'll probably turn Tez heel just out of frustration, right? It's not good, man. It's not good. It wasn't a good Raw. It wasn't a good Raw at all. Easy 4 out of 10 for me. None of the matches saved it. I probably missed a match or two on the women's tag division. Apologies in advance. But that's how I feel. That's how I feel about May 18th, 2026 Raw. Dynamite should have came out a lot earlier, and I apologize for that. But we are going to be getting towards SmackDown, and I believe One Piece should be coming out this week, huh? One Piece? Well, I love me a good One Piece video. All right, I'll be getting to everything I can in the most timely fashion that I can. I guarantee all of you. All right, hope all of you have a great one. However you catch this, whenever you catch this, and as I always say, all right, hope you all stay safe, stay tuned, stay beautiful. Peace.